Now, what you're seeing here, you get to this point and you have a low. Actually, it's lows, yeah? And it's more of when you see price drop below, it has run this low. All the sell side there has been run, and then price is rejecting to the upside. Now, as far as I'm concerned, if it goes up, we do have this swing from here all the way to here. It can easily go all the way to this point, actually. It can go there. But for now, we just want to have one specific area right here. Mind you, the whole price action for this year, yeah, it's actually up to around this. This is Feb, this is January. So the monthly candle, the yearly candle opened here, right? So this is the high of this year, and this is this year. This means that this candle is bearish, yeah? This candle is closing bearish. That means there is a chance next year we could see price dropping lower. So I would argue that as far as we are concerned, we've had a clean break of structure here. We have a clean break of structure, and there is a chance that price will want to get to the premium of this whole swing, probably up to here. But that will be next month. That means my idea is this week, the coming week, price may hit this point and then reject, but not necessarily continue lower, but give us a swing low and then another push higher when next month open and give us the high of that month and then a drop. Yeah. So if I go to the weekly time frame, now we have levels that we are trying to work with, yeah? Right here. Now, as much as price did drop all the way down, it's kind of obeying a specific trend line here. And this is the third touch. Mostly that is when the whatever breaks above, yeah? This may just be the push, because if next week actually pushes up and closes bullish, okay, and closes bullish, that means we would be using this candle as a propulsion block and expecting price to continue higher and to retest these lows, yeah, especially if that candle closes above here, yeah. So for now, our rule, or rather my argument, is this point here, daily chart. Now on the daily time frame, we have a clean theory. See this? Right there. We have this one. So this is called a trend channel. Yeah, it's called a trend channel. Then we have these two candles here and this one and this one. So it would arguably be okay to expect price to get here. What would be the most ideal entry? This one is very clean, right? You have that bearish engulfing, bullish order block, very nice. Now price has not necessarily closed above here, as you can see. It's actually on the premium of that. Yeah. Right there. So it's very specific, and it has spiked above at least. And that tells me when price does not obey the laws of premium and discount, it tells me that, especially if I'm looking for a sell, then the rules of discount have been obeyed on my side. So arguably, with this whole saga here, there may be a sell. There may be a sell. Actually, there may be a sell. But I would somehow expect to see some rejection and then a push up, which doesn't necessarily have to drop. For this one, we have a fair value gap right there. Now, if I told you this, but we have these zones you're seeing are all very specific. You see the equilibrium, 50% where it is, so specific. If there is an imbalance here and a propulsion block, I would argue the price may actually buy from here. But again, I always have my entry method, like I told you, specifically just like this one, yeah? I see a bullish engulfing, I would look for a sell. So arguably, I can have something like this, and a continuity higher, because this is clearly a higher high. Yeah, I mean, is it a higher low? And these are higher highs. Higher highs. So this is something I would expect to happen if possible, but I can't just take, okay, I can't, and that is because we've said there is a chance price can actually run up here. So what are some other cases which could lead me to taking this kind of trade? Now, it would be nice if it does something like this, where of course on this area I would expect to take a sell. And for the retailers, they're actually going to be seeing a heads and shoulders pattern here. They're going to be seeing this kind of thing. Yeah. Which would also be probably very precise. My argument, I would love to see price drop here, give me the low of the week, and then push up. And then this will be the high of the week, probably closing around inside here, where it retests this area. I mean, it's the last week of the month. Unless we have crazy news, I don't expect to have much price action. Yeah, just like this, something a bit slow. And considering we've really pushed up and price is playing around, this is possible. You just need one more swing like this one. Yeah. So if you take this and measure this whole swing, then you extrapolate it right there. You can see it's arguably the same size. Yeah. Something like this. This is my theory. And if this happens, we could easily get price pushing above next month opening before, and this probably creates the high of December, and it may even spike inside here. Yeah, may even spike inside there. Anyways, this is my theory for DXY. No, for JPY basket. Right there. JPY basket 4 hours chart. Now, hope we've agreed on that one. Usdjpy. Usdjpy. Now let's talk about this guy here. Let me clean this chart. Remove all drawings and let me remove this orders. Profit. Yeah, like that. I'll just remove that for now. Let's look at this chart here. I want to start with a weekly chart once again. Now I have been trying to understand something here. You have this swing from this point to this point here. Now last week, this candle didn't really close at the OTE. I hope you can see that. It didn't really close at the OTE. And that is why I was a bit bullish on this thing. Okay. Now it has tapped there and it has rejected. If you can see that, yeah. And the candle closed somewhere below there. Yeah, somehow below there. Now, that would arguably be a reason for me to expect some selling to happen in this scenario. Okay. Now, in this case here, you see this candle here. In this case, if I was bullish, I would expect this candle to give me a buy at this point. If it doesn't do that, when price reacts or rather drops below that, I would expect it to give me a rejection downwards. Don't worry, I'm sure you can see these things very clearly. See that? Specific zones. Now that rejection is very, very valid. We also have a very small imbalance here. Very small. But I'm sure you can see it. Okay, I'm sure you can see that shit right there. Then if I even go to the monthly time frame, you see that this fair value gap has actually been filled, bro. It has totally been filled. And this whole swing here Price has tapped this candle, this order block here, and then price is rejecting. Very nice. Now, price doesn't necessarily have to like drop immediately. This candle will probably still close bullish, and that means there's a chance price will range next week. Yeah, price may easily range next week. Let's look at the daily chart. Now we have a clear zones here. Like I told you, if Thursday, my theory was if Thursday closes below Wednesday's candle, like that, this for me is always a sell entry, yeah, where I'm taking a short, yeah, with a stop loss on this high. These are 1:1, 1:1, simply put. That is the kind of thing I will target. And I'm working with this swing from this point to this point, and I want to see if price can actually drop below there once again. One more time. Coming and touching this candle here. Now, how far up can Monday go and give us the weekly high? How far up can Monday go? Most of the time, I would be okay trying to get the mean ratio, or rather the consequent encroachment of this week. I can measure that, right, and get the half of it, but also this is pretty much it. So if I go to the 4 hours, I have I'm sure you all can remember me. I had two things. If price does not react from here, it's probably going to react from here. Now it did reject from this point here, this candle. Okay, that candle right there. You can see how the bodies of these candles have literally rejected at that point. And if I take this swing here all the way to that point, you see the reaction. It's very nice. It's very nice. Now at the same time, you have this swing from here to here, and that is why price is reacting or trying to push up at least. See that? Very specific. That's why it's reacting from here. Now, if we are bearish, price won't necessarily do that. I mean, it won't push up higher. The only thing it can do is maybe get to the premium of this swing. Okay, this swing you're seeing here, and then push lower. So if we are expecting a push up, okay, if we're expecting a push up, probably to create a higher of the week, maybe up to here, to this point, then expect a drop. And again, we don't just take the sell, we have to see the signal we are looking for. If this candle completely engulfs this, there's a chance price will just drop from here, and we can take that sell with a stop loss on that high, yeah, and expect it to drop lower, yeah, because remember we have this equal lows here, and I'm not comfortable with these lows at all. Even from, remember last week I was having a theory where price drops below here and then pushes up, yeah, we have the same equal lows here, this imbalance. So this is enough reason for me to target there, and this will be, by the way, a very nice just one target for the week, and enter. Now if we can get a trade here, if we can get it around there, that would be so nice. This will be at least how many pips? Mind you, this push up here, well, Usdjpy basket is dropping from here to here, which may not necessarily happen because we have this candle here. You can you see the way price is rejecting from this candle, this bearish candle here, touching that and just immediately pushing up. If it does that, then USDJPY can easily just drop from here. That's what I'm telling you. If it does close above here, I mean below here, it doesn't hurt trying to sell here. These are only two setups within the week, yeah. Because it's your stop loss, you take another shot here. If it hits your stop loss, you are done for the week. Simple, yeah. If we are bearish once again, because if you look at this rejection here, clean. I feel like if we are gonna push higher, this thing would be way above, like way above, yeah. So here or here, Arguably, I would personally prefer taking the sell this area. So let's have this. Let's have this drawn out. We have these two equal lows here, which qualifies for sell side, and this should be the high of the week. And it's simply because we have a bullish engulfing here, which should give us some sort of buying. But if we are bearish, then the bullish won't really go far. How far can it go? This candle can give us that rejection we're looking for, or even try to spike inside here. So here we look for exactly this kind of setup here. See this bullish candle, the last one, bearish candle, the last one, retest, and then drop. And this is the kind of thing I've said on Usdjpy basket, yeah? Price retesting this area totally, yeah? So we don't know what will happen next month. We will decide that next week, part one, yeah? But this is what I have for Usdjpy. Either we take that sell here first and here. If we fail, those are only two entry methods, or rather two entries that we are planning, and we are done for the week. Only two setups. Any questions so far? Any question so far? Bitcoin. Let's start with the DXY. Now, DXY, if you check this thing, or rather this guy, he tapped into our zones, yeah? Last week areas of the target areas. Now, eventually we are targeting this high, but we already have a swing from this point to this point with very equal lows. We also have all this swing, which price didn't necessarily get back to discount. But let's look at the weekly chart. Remove drawings. DXY helps us understand the weekly, or rather the how to trade Euro USD. Okay, how to trade Euro USD. Now, frankly, we've run a lot of highs. Yeah, we've run a lot of buy side. Let me get to the monthly chart actually. It's a very huge candle, bro. Very huge candle. Arguably, I would say it will be here with those equal highs. So that December just maybe taps a bit and then continues higher and spikes inside here, because this is eventually our target, which I also feel like as much as it may give us this retracement, price will still continue higher. Okay, but for now, the last week of the month, either it opens and just pushes higher or just drops right here, yeah, and closes the month closes here. So weekly chart, we have this small imbalance and we have this vacuum block right here. So these are some of the things to look out for. We've pushed up, we've run a lot of buy side. You just want to see some rejection, which is clear, and you expect a drop like this and maybe a continuity. Okay, so I come to the daily time frame, and now all I would want to see is a bearish engulfing. That means on Monday, if price opens and just drops right there and closes like this, I would expect Tuesday to open, retest this zone, and continue lower. Just like that until we get to this point, and maybe we can consider looking for more buys there. But we also have the chance of price buying a bit. How far can it buy? You see this week, the whole week up to here. See that whole week there. I want to mark the half of it. And if there is any buying, price can easily reject from that point. So if I go to the 4 hours, you see that it can push up, right? It can push up, tap here, and then drop lower. Either way, I would advocate for selling this, rather looking for shorts on DXY. Yeah, looking for shorts on DXY. It has really pushed up. So at least it should make a new lower low. I mean a higher low here. From this swing all the way to here. And this also will go along with what we've said for USDJPY dropping, yeah. and all the other USD XXX pairs. Copy image. So short position. The stop loss slightly above this high and expect it to drop at least to this point. That is DXY for hours. Any question about DXY? Question about DXY. Okay. Euro USD. Euro USD. Now this thing has dropped, and I mean massive dropping, yeah, from here all the way from here, with very few retracements, yeah, crazy drop. Last week we had a nice run here, very clean. Now it's time to reorganize this whole idea. Monthly chart. See that drop? Crazy drop, man. Crazy drop. It's obvious that next month can easily just open, retest this low, and continue lower up to this point here. Otherwise, we would have this is Monday, this is Friday, July 2022. Yeah. February 2024, so this is January. We will have a bearish yearly candle, okay? A bearish yearly candle, because I think this was the high. This was the high of the, or rather, this was the open of the year, and this was the high of the year. So this is November, right? So there is a chance December can either play inside here, and the candle just closes around here. January retouches this area, and we continue dropping all the way to this point next year, right? So a retracement is imminent at this point. That is my argument. I feel like price will try to push up fast than pushing lower. We have these lows, which have ultimately, these are a lot of sell side has been laid along, and price has actually closed below. I would prefer looking for buys at this point, yeah, and not far away, just to see price maybe try to fill this imbalance and retest this low here, okay, retest that low. So if we have that kind of argument, and once again price can easily tap to the consequent encroachment of that week. So you come to this and you see the encroachment itself, and you have some equal highs here which were created last week, yeah. These ones. Right there. All the way to that point, and then maybe we can continue. So ultimately you have a swing. Personally, I'm talking of this swing from here all the way to this low. That is if at all price, or rather next weekend, or just opens and pushes higher, gives us a bullish engulfing, yeah. But that we could just have a swing all the way to this point, and then price drops ultimately. So we have that theory there. If I go to the 4 hours, it will clear a lot of doubts. Now, most of the time, this week, this kind of week, it's normally a rejection one here. So you see price try to tap inside there, and then reject, give you that structure shift, and then you can take your buy, okay, something like that. So most of the time, this is what you would wait for, or any bullish engulfing that will happen around in this area. Chances are price will definitely drop in this area. So my argument, Around these highs, and probably look for sales around this area here. With a stop loss on this high. Okay. So long position. A stop loss on this low. And again, we have to wait for this kind of thing to happen. We don't just take the buys. TP1 should be the premium of this swing up to here. That is around here. TP2, TP3, and you call it a week. If you can get a very nice buy next week, it will be nice. Yeah. That is usual. USD. Yeah. So let's check. See. Last week we eventually hit our target right here, 99.5596. Yeah. Clean drop. Clean drop. Weekly chart. Now I don't feel like price will just buy from here. It's been a crazy push up, and as much as price, or rather December will cruise above, this may be the high of the month. Yeah, but next week there is a chance price will hit 100. Right, price will hit 100, and then maybe December opens and retraces a bit and just trades inside here. But there's a chance it will close bearish. January opens and close above it, and that's works as our entry method and continuity higher, something like that. Yeah. So now you have the weekly chart has pushed up. The most obvious zone you would expect price to drop to is probably around here. Maybe you can look for buys at that point 96, rather 93.00. Daily chart. Yeah, this is very specific because you have push up, push up. So you have this swing from this point all the way to that point. Right there. So yeah, some selling is definitely gonna happen, but I would look for any sort of some sort of engulfing, and this area would, and this is basically a retest of this area. You can retest, but we'll see how that goes. But I feel like if you didn't take the buys here, this is the best place to take your buy. Yeah, one position. Have your stop loss just below this bearish candle you're seeing there, and you probably should target 120. No, not 120. From 100. Yeah, this is 103. 103 is dope. Like that. Right. Now there's something else we need to look at. By the way, anyone with a question so far? We are done with the weekly forecast. That is at least for these three pairs we are looking at: Euro USD, USDJPY, and Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin.